Good morning, guys. Hopefully, you're having an absolutely wonderful, wonderful morning. Have my coffee here, and I have some homemade banana bread with actual applesauce in it. So, but sorry, a little hungry. What we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how I make my apple pie filling. Are you ready? All right. Now, I use a variety of different apples. I got some from the farmer that I go to, and I took his whole bag, this bag back here. But he only had a few a big variety because they were all one. So I'm gonna add a couple here that I like to use for my apples. Now, of course, I do things the hard way. I don't have an apple peeler, but I'm okay with that. And what I do is I don't throw the peels nor the cores away. I don't know if you've seen another video with me talking about that. I actually use that for applesauce. Now, yes, if I don't have a core, it takes more of the apple away, and I get that, but I do have a lot of apples, so I believe I'll be okay. Today is going to be another busy day because after I do this, I'm going to go outside with my husband and move some dirt in the wheelbarrow. So, but I wanted to get this in for you guys because it is such an easy process when you're doing it this way, only because it's already jarred up. It saves you on time. And when your family just want an apple pie, or you just want to create a dessert, it's more easier just to get that jar off of the shelf, pour it into your pie crust, and it's done. So it's a quicker and easier way. It takes a lot of the stress off of it when you're trying to prepare the apples and everything that same day. Child, that's just way too much. It's way too much when we're on a farm or we're on a homestead. We try to make life easy as much as we can, but some things we just can't make easy. But in this case, this is a absolutely simple, easy way of doing this. And who don't like apple pie? I think everybody does. So what I'm going to do with these cores, when I get this all filled up, I put a big old crock pot or a pot on the stove, and I let them simmer for probably 17 to 24 hours. And then I jar that great deliciousness up as well. I don't have a compost, neither do I have my chickens yet. So I then have to get rid of the apples after that part of it. I hate that, but right now that's all I can do. So I'm trying to get a compost and get that up and going, but we're gonna get there. We're going to get there. So all I'm doing now is just cutting up the apples, cutting up all the apples, getting everything in that bowl. And I think this is the part that takes the longest, is this part right here. This is the only part that, because you have to actually peel and chop. This is the only part, but after this, everything is simple. You can get through this quick. So the only part that's going to take you a while is this part. Not a while, but it's going to take you a little bit of time. And for me, I'm just not making apple pie filling. I'm making apple crisp. My husband loves that. And I make 6 or 7 of those, and I freeze that into the actual freezer. Now, I don't bake the apples or anything until I take it out the freezer and get ready to use it, because you don't want your apples to be mushy. So I'm doing not just apple pie filling, I'm actually doing apple crisp as well. So, and I have a lot of apples. My friend who gives these organic apples to me, he actually had a bag that he did not even consider selling. So when he called me, he stated to me, he said, hey, come by, I got some apples for you. I said, okay. He said, you know, I know you use a lot of apples, so come on and get these apples. So I went on by there. I thought it was going to be like normal, the basket full of apples. No, he gave me a whole bag, and I was just so grateful because I will use all the apples. I will use them, and I will freeze apple crisp. I'll do apple butter, and I'll do apple pie filling. So it's not like I'm not going to use them. And then apple juice. So it's not like I'm not going to use them. And I'm going to check and see how much applesauce I have, because I do applesauce as well. So I go through a lot of applesauce because I make applesauce pancake. I put applesauce in my my banana bread. So I use a lot of apples, and I can do a lot of things with apples. I make apple waffles. So I do a lot with apples. So they don't go to waste here. Not in this house. They don't go to waste. So it's just me getting the time to do everything, because I do work in the home, and then I go outside and work outside with my husband, with the gardening and anything else that we have going on. So it's not just a one-stop shop for me. I do a lot. So I'm going to finish cutting up these apples, guys, and I will return with all these apples cut, and I'll take you to the next process. Okay.
Putting it in a jar.
Okay, guys, I have the apples cut. Now I'm going to show you guys how I do it. I'm not going to go through the whole long process of me cutting 50 apples or 60 apples. I'm just going to show you how I do it, and off camera I'll do the rest of it. So let me get another cup of coffee. Drink of coffee. Now, I'll cut a little bit of lemon in there just to keep the color of the apples. And then, of course, I will can the apples. Jar them. I hate to use the word canning because it's not a can, but you get what I'm saying. So, at this process, I'll add some vanilla. Any vanilla you like. Normally, I will make my own vanilla, but in this case, I'm out of it, and I haven't had a chance to get to it. I have ginger. I really adore ginger. My Yorkie is sitting right here. Then I will use nut egg, however you say it. That's the end of that little jar, little bottle. And from there, then I'll use cinnamon. Now, guys, I don't measure. I just know the way it smells and tastes. I'll give you a little secret, too. I use apple brandy. I'm out of apple brandy, so I can't use it. But I love apple brandy in it. So if you do have apple brandy, or if you like alcohol in your pies, please do so. It is absolutely amazing. It brings the flavors all together. I have white sugar. And I use some of my brown sugar that I've made, and it has molasses in it, and I love this stuff. I love it. That's about enough. Then from there, I stir it up, make sure everything is in. It smells, oh my God, guys, the vanilla brings out such an absolutely wonderful smell. I don't know how that cord got inside there, but I'm glad I'm looking. Please look too. So, with that, I'm going to add just a dash of salt. Okay? And that's it, guys. From this process here, because you're wondering, well, Jamil, how are you going to thicken the actual broth of the apples, apple pie filling? Well, let me move this over. I make a slurry right here. And it has my cornstarch, it has vanilla, it has some cinnamon, and it has a little bit of sugar. So when I jar the actual apples inside the jar, this gets poured in it. It's flavored with the same ingredients that I use for my apple filling. So it doesn't skip a beat. So as this is baking in the oven, that slurry mixture will actually thicken the apple pie filling. So I'm gonna show you one, and then I'm gonna let you go. I'm grateful that you're spending time with me. But I'm gonna show you one and how I do it. So you'll get the idea. It's kind of messy when you're doing it this way, but you're gonna wipe it off with the vinegar and do all the things, and you're gonna make sure you have no air bubbles in there. Look how yummy that looks, guys. Look how yummy. Hopefully you can see that. That is so yummy. That's why I add the brown sugar. I'm gonna use the back end of my wooden spoon to make sure I have no air in that. Here we go. Okay, now with that, it's done. It's not, I haven't cleaned it off yet. I'm just showing you how I do it. Do a little more whisk with this. Let me go get my I'm gonna use this, put it right in the middle, and then I pour. This happens sometime, an apple will get stuck at the bottom. There we go. There we go. Now, if you had apple brandy, guys, a little bit of the apple brandy will become the actual, you add that into this mixture as well. And it tastes so good. I'm gonna add a little bit of water because it's not gonna dilute it. It's not gonna take the flavors away at all. It's not gonna take the flavors away. Gonna make sure you have that half of head space. And there you go. Let me clean this off and show you the finished product. First, I'm gonna clean it off with just water because it's like a little sticky around it. All that stickiness off of there because sometimes it does fall. Okay? Not cleaning it off to seal it yet. And the reason why I go inside, I know people say, don't do that. They just do the head space around. It's because sometimes when it is in the processor, that starts to boil up. So what I do is I try to get everything from around that head space. That's just me because I like it to look really super neat. Now I'll use the vinegar to clean it off. Just one sec. I bought me some more lids. Let's get the vinegar. Because you want to make sure all the stickiness that you want this to seal. Guys, you surely don't want this not to seal. all the time it takes for you to cut and dice and chop. You want this to seal. So that's it, guys. That's simple. Get one of the lids off. Always try to check them to make sure everything is okay. Make sure you're not putting two on top of each other. That can be a problem. That's it. Applesauce, apple pie filling, guys. And see how the flavors is coming together, marrying together? This is your apple pie filling. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. But before I let you go, you got to stay amazing. Bye now.